Some wrestlers had the world in their hands until they threw it all away. These are 10 WWE wrestlers who destroyed their own careers. CM Punk. CM Punk was once the voice of the voiceless, the rebel who fans rallied behind because he spoke the truth in an industry filled with corporate polish. His infamous pipe bomb promo in 2011 turned him into a cultural icon.
John Cena, while you lay there, hopefully as uncomfortable as you possibly can be, I want you to listen to me. I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
And by 2012, he was WWE Champion for over a year. Punk should have been remembered as one of the greatest of his generation. Instead, his career became defined by bitterness. In 2014, Punk walked out of WWE after years of frustration with management, creative decisions, and medical staff. What followed was a very public war with the company, including lawsuits, interviews bashing WWE, and a messy podcast rant with Colt Cabana that ended in another lawsuit between former friends. Punk tried to reinvent himself in the UFC, but went 0-2 and became the butt of jokes in the MMA world.
The winner by submission due to a rear naked choke,
Even his AEW return years later ended in disaster, as Punk's temper and inability to get along backstage led to fights and his firing. For a man who demanded respect, Punk's own ego destroyed the bridges he needed most. Today, instead of being remembered as the legend he could have been, Punk is remembered as the guy who couldn't stop fighting everyone around him. Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy was destined for greatness. Fans loved his daredevil style, insane ladder dives, and fearless creativity. He was supposed to be the next Shawn Michaels, a charismatic show stealer who could carry WWE into the future. But Hardy's demons got in the way. Throughout his career, Jeff battled drug and alcohol issues that cost him multiple pushes. In 2003, he was fired from WWE after showing up in no condition to perform. He got a second chance years later, even winning the WWE Championship in 2008. But again, his lifestyle caught up with him. Arrests for drugs, DUIs, and no shows followed him everywhere he went. WWE, TNA, and AEW. Fans will never forget Victory Road 2011, where Hardy stumbled to the ring so impaired that Sting had to end the match in seconds. Even in 2022, Hardy was arrested again for DUI while working with AEW. Every time it seemed like Jeff finally had things under control, he relapsed. Instead of being remembered as one of the most beloved risk takers ever, Hardy's legacy is overshadowed by wasted potential and endless second chances. Few wrestlers had a more natural connection with fans, and few threw it away so many times. Ryback. For a short while, Ryback looked unstoppable. WWE built him up as a monster, feeding him jobbers every week as the crowd chanted, "Feed me more." By 2012, he was main eventing pay-per-views against CM Punk and looked like the next big powerhouse in WWE. But Ryback's attitude quickly killed any chance of lasting success. Backstage reports described him as reckless in the ring, injuring talent, and being difficult to work with.
Oh man, I'm sorry buddy, you okay? You okay?
Then came his very public falling out with WWE. Instead of handling business quietly, Ryback took to social media with endless rants, accusing WWE of mistreating him, complaining about pay, and even burying other wrestlers. He became more known for whining online than for anything he did in the ring. By the time WWE cut ties with him in 2016, his reputation was ruined. Ryback tried to reinvent himself outside WWE, but between his bitter rants, failed supplements business, and cringeworthy attempts to stay relevant, fans stopped taking him seriously. For a guy who had the look, the size, and the push, Ryback destroyed his career with his mouth faster than anyone else could have. Velveteen Dream. At one point, Velveteen Dream was considered the future of WWE. A young star with charisma, creativity, and in-ring talent beyond his years, he had everything needed to become the next big thing. His matches in NXT against Aleister Black, Ricochet, and others turned him into a fan favorite, and many predicted he'd be WWE's breakout star of the 2020s. But then came the scandals. Dream was accused of inappropriate behavior with minors, allegations that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world. While Dream denied wrongdoing, the damage was done. WWE tried to stand by him at first, but the constant negative headlines made it impossible. Eventually, he was released, and his once bright career disappeared overnight. Unlike other stars who get second chances, Dream's accusations were too severe for any major company to touch him. He went from being a future WrestleMania headliner to a name fans whisper about as a cautionary tale. For someone with endless potential, Velveteen Dream threw it all away in record time. Alberto Del Rio. Alberto Del Rio was supposed to be WWE's next global superstar. He had the look, the heritage, and the backing of the company. WWE gave him everything. A Royal Rumble win.
You gotta be kidding me!
Money in the Bank,
Alberto Del Rio is Mr.
and multiple world championships. But outside the ring, Del Rio's personal life was a mess. He developed a reputation for arrogance and being difficult backstage. But what truly destroyed his career were his arrests. Del Rio was charged multiple times with domestic violence and other serious allegations. His volatile relationship with Paige also made headlines, dragging both of their careers down. Eventually, WWE cut ties, and Del Rio's name became toxic in the industry. Instead of being remembered as one of Mexico's greatest exports to WWE, Del Rio is remembered as a cautionary tale of wasted talent and self-destruction. His story proves that no amount of pushes or titles can save you if your personal life spirals out of control. Mr. Kennedy. When Mr. Kennedy debuted in WWE, he had everything going for him. His unique ring introduction, charisma, and solid in-ring ability made him stand out immediately. WWE clearly saw him as a future main eventer, even giving him a Money in the Bank win in 2007. But Kennedy's career quickly went off the rails. A failed drug test during the infamous steroid scandal of the mid-2000s halted his push. Then came accusations of being unsafe in the ring. Kennedy botched moves on both John Cena and Randy Orton, two of WWE's top stars, which earned him serious backstage heat. By 2009, Vince McMahon had seen enough, and Kennedy was released. He later reinvented himself in TNA as Mr. Anderson, but he never reached the same level of success. Kennedy had everything: the look, the charisma, the push, but a mix of bad timing, failed tests, and dangerous mistakes turned what could have been a legendary career into a story of wasted potential. Enzo Amore. Enzo Amore was one of the most unique characters WWE had in years. His mic skills made him stand out, and his tag team with Big Cass was massively popular. Even when Cass got injured, Enzo reinvented himself as a cruiserweight heel champion and continued to draw attention. But Enzo's mouth and behavior backstage rubbed many people the wrong way. Then came the scandal that ended his career overnight. In 2018, Enzo was accused of sexual assault, and while the case was later dropped, WWE fired him immediately for not informing them about the investigation. Even with his name cleared, his reputation was ruined. Enzo tried to jump into rap music and the indie scene, but fans never took him seriously again. In wrestling, perception is everything, and Enzo's was destroyed in a flash. He could have been one of the most entertaining talkers of his generation, but instead, he's remembered as another talent who wasted his moment. Rob Van Dam, RVD. Rob Van Dam was one of the most naturally gifted wrestlers ever. Fans loved his laid-back personality, his unique style, and his insane athleticism. By 2006, he was finally on top of WWE, holding both the WWE Championship and the ECW Championship at the same time. It should have been the beginning of a legendary run. Instead, it ended almost immediately. Just weeks into his title reign, RVD was arrested for possession of marijuana and other substances while traveling with Sabu. WWE had no choice but to suspend him, and he was forced to drop both titles in humiliating fashion. RVD's momentum was gone, and he never truly recovered. He bounced around between WWE and TNA over the years, but the magic of that summer was lost forever. Fans still love RVD, but his career is a perfect example of how one mistake at the wrong time can destroy everything you've worked for. Lex Luger. Lex Luger was supposed to be the next Hulk Hogan. WWE pushed him as the all-American hero in the early 90s, even giving him a patriotic bus tour and a slam of Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid. But Luger never connected with fans the way Hogan did. When WWE tried to make him champion, it flopped. After leaving WWE, his personal life spiraled out of control. Drug abuse, arrests, and health issues plagued him for years. His relationship with Miss Elizabeth ended in tragedy when she passed away away due to an overdose while with Luger, further tarnishing his reputation. Today, instead of being remembered as a top star, Luger is remembered as a man who fell far short of expectations. He had the look, the push, and every opportunity, but drugs, bad decisions, and a lack of connection with fans destroyed what should have been a Hall of Fame career. Sunny Tammy Sytch. In the mid-1990s, Sunny was WWE's first true diva. She had charisma, looks, and personality that made her one of the most downloaded women on the internet at the time. She managed some of WWE's top stars and was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2011. But Sunny's life outside wrestling was a train wreck. She battled addiction for years, racking up multiple DUIs, arrests, and stints in jail. Instead of capitalizing on her Hall of Fame status, she spiraled deeper into crime and controversy. In recent years, her arrests for DUI, including one that led to a fatal car accident, have destroyed any remaining legacy she had. Sunny could have been remembered as a trailblazer for women in WWE, but instead, she's remembered for wasting her fame and ending up behind bars. Few wrestlers have fallen as hard as Sunny, and her story is one of the saddest in wrestling history. So those were 10 WWE stars who had it all and lost it all. Which downfall shocked you the most, and who do you think still deserves a second chance?